welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel, and today we're going to talk all about how we heat our house with wood. So we have several thermostats in here, and there's actually the Google thermostats, and then this was for an old outdoor wood burner that they used to have. It's holding at 69 degrees right now, and it'll get hotter than that in here. That is all just from these windows. We actually even have the shades closed, only because they're broken. This was some kind of temporary shades that they put in here, and they're really hard to get to. It's about 20 to 25 feet up to the top here, 20 feet probably at the peak. So it's a little bit hard to get these down. So I've left them up even through the winter time, but there's still tons of sunlight that comes in here. So these are all south-facing windows, and we just get a ton of sunlight. This pours in here throughout the winter time. In the northern hemisphere, the sun is very low in the sky, so the sun is real low, and it just pours right in through these windows. We also have an east-facing window on this side. You can see the new chicken coop out there. That's pretty cool. We can kind of look right out here and watch the animals. But in the morning time, we get a lot of sun that pours in through here, and this will keep this whole area warm throughout the day. In fact, right now it's about 15 to 20 degrees outside, and it'll easily be over 75 in this room, in this area of the house. So this is the entryway, and that thermostat that I just showed you, we just passed it. Oh, you're not going outside to chase those deer. No. And then we also have some bedrooms back here, and right behind that door is actually another thermostat. That's the second thermostat for the upstairs. And a master bedroom is right around the corner there. I'll show you that in a minute. And out here in the kitchen, so you can see this is the atrium where we just were looking. There's the chicken coop. Well, you can almost see the edge of it out there. And then all these big windows. And then coming right over here, we've got another east-facing window where a ton of light comes in and warms this room in the morning as well. We have this wood stove, which we'll talk about in just a moment. And then we also have all of these windows. This is also another huge south-facing area. So this is a ton of glass in here. And again, right now the sunlight is just pouring in here and just warming this whole front room up. This is what we call our living room or great room. And this area right here just stays all nice and warm from just the sun alone. So this is a wood burning insert. We keep our wood stored in here for the day. Usually I'll fill this several times throughout the day if we're really running it. The blower's off right now actually, but this has a thermostat in it. It comes on and off. You can turn it on and off manually, or it comes on and off with when it warms up. This is a very nice, efficient little stove. I don't know the model on this offhand, but I think I remember looking this up. It's about a 15,000 BTU per hour burn in this one, and it just sucks in air on the bottom. This is a blower module right here. Air goes in and it comes back around and it comes out through the top right here. So this is a nice smaller stove, and it helps to keep this kitchen warm, especially when the sun goes down. Of course, one of the biggest problems in Michigan, or in many of the northern states, is in the wintertime. Well, first of all, the sun goes down early, right, and comes up late, so the days are short. The sunlight days are short. But also, we have a lot of cloudy days. Generally, January is our sunny month of the winter. We get a lot of very even temperatures, very cold, but during the day, generally, we get a lot of sun. Starting to get into February and March, we're going to get a lot of cold days and nights, and it's going to be cloudy most of the time. So we won't get a lot of the sun benefits, although it still warms the house up a little even through the clouds. But these wood stoves are the key. This is the key to keeping this place warm throughout the day when it's cloudier, keeping a reasonable temperature. We can usually turn them down pretty low throughout the day and just keep them going. But then at nighttime, we crank them up, and this helps to warm the house throughout the night. So this is also another wood burning fireplace that we have. This is in the master bedroom, so this is very far away from the other two wood burners, and this will help to warm up this kind of end of the house. So there are some door walls in here as well. We have a door wall here. This is all south facing, and then we also have a door wall here. So we've got a lot of south facing glass in the master bedroom as well. But for the night times, again, and on the real cold nights, we can fire this up. This doesn't put out, it doesn't have a blower on it, but it definitely heats this room up real nice, so we can get this room up above 70, generally 70 to 75 degrees with just this regular fireplace in here. The only problem with this is because there's not really great air control with anything, is that it doesn't burn overnight really well without me waking up and filling it about 2 times. So going down to the lower level, this is where much of the living space in the house is. Actually, there's about 1,600 square feet down in this area. So we have a little lounge area and kind of hangout area. That's that great room that we looked at from above earlier out there. But this also has, there's another door wall here letting in a lot of light. There's an office that's over here behind this door. And this space, again, you can see all the light kind of pouring in here. So this warms up pretty good. So we do have the wood stove going right now, but again, it's about 69 degrees down here, and so obviously none of the furnaces have been running at all today when the sun is shining, and we've got the wood burners on, and the wood burners have been on pretty low. So this is the last wood burning stove that we have, and this is a big one. So this is a Quadra-Fire. I can't remember the model on it, but it is a monster. I can put some super big logs in here. So this one will actually heat up to 30,000 BTUs per hour when it's on full. So right now it is on full. I just loaded it, so I like to get it going really good, and then I'll turn that down to the lowest setting. On the lowest setting, it's about 15,000 BTUs per hour. And so this again has a big blower on it, and blows out heat across the top of that nice big hot surface, and it heats this area up really well. And also a lot of this heat will pour out here into the atrium area that we saw again from above earlier, and that will warm, this area up. But during the day, because of all the sun, they don't really need the wood stoves much, and they don't really need the furnaces at all either. So there's the windows in this house. There are tons of windows, tons of door walls, all on the south side of the house and the east side of the house, not really much on the west side. But those windows are the key. I mean, designing your house with lots of south-facing windows is going to really almost eliminate the need for your furnace during the day, even when it's super cold. Yesterday it was about 5 degrees outside, 10 degrees outside, and the furnaces didn't run all day. And the windows are kind of a double-edged sword because they let a lot of light in it during the day, and they warm the house up during the day, but at nighttime they let a lot of heat out. And so you're battling against that. I still think you win overall, especially as the days get longer. And the key again is having the wood stove. So in this particular house, because we have over 4,200 square feet between the lower and upper levels, both wood stoves plus the fireplace in the bonus or in the master bedroom will need to be run in order for us to keep the house warm. Now the furnaces will still kick on throughout the night, especially because we're not up all night feeding these things. The furnace will kick on, and run throughout the nighttime. Generally, though, it runs much less, and we're saving a ton of money in propane. I've shared this tip before. Welding gloves are a must with these wood stoves. I use these all the time to reach in and grab logs, move stuff around. Super handy, as well as your regular little fireplace tools. And then this, you saw earlier, this is what I use to carry the wood in. So we'll load the wood stove until this is empty. I'll grab this little, it's a real nice heavy duty. I've had it for years now. It's canvas little carrier, and I'll carry that out to the garage, and that's where all the wood stack is, and we'll load this up. I can bring in a couple loads and fill up both the wood racks here, and then the one upstairs and the one in the master bedroom if I need to. Part of heating with wood is dealing with all the ash. Generally what I do is about once a week I'll let one of the stoves burn out for 24 to 48 hours, make sure all the coals are nice and extinguished in there, and then we'll go ahead and shovel these out. So we get quite a bit of ash. I'll empty this bucket once or twice a week filled with ash. Some of it goes into our compost pile. A lot of it will go just right out onto our driveway for extra traction on snowy days. And some of it gets sprinkled into garden beds and just into the woods sometimes if we have too much of it. So ash is very useful, and something that I have not tried, but it's on my list to do, is actually using our hardwood ashes here to make lye and then in turn make soap. So I would like to do that, something I haven't done yet, but ash has lots of uses around the homestead, and so nothing goes to waste. So a couple last thoughts on how we heat our house with wood and the sun combined. Number one, we cannot heat this size house the way that this house is designed 100% all winter long without the furnaces. We can come pretty close during the fall and the spring when temperatures are, anywhere between 30 and 50 degrees or 60, 50, 55 degrees, somewhere in there. We don't really need the furnaces at all. We could use these wood stoves and heat the house just fine without running them at all. When we get into the super cold months, we're in January and it's -5 degrees overnight, the furnaces are going to have to run. Even with both these fireplaces and the third fireplace in the bedroom going full blast, even if we were able to keep them going full blast all night long, it still wouldn't provide enough. So if you're out there adding up the BTUs, if we have 15,000 BTUs here and 30,000 BTUs downstairs in the other one, and then let's just say we get 10,000 BTUs out of the regular fireplace in the master bedroom, that still doesn't add up. We probably have a 100,000 BTU furnace in one end of the house here, and then I think a 50,000 or 55,000 BTU furnace in the other end of the house. So there's no way we're gonna produce as much heat as those do with these fireplaces. But the interesting thing is that the sun does more heat, can heat this house up, way faster and much better than any wood stoves are going to heat this house. So with all these windows in here, as long as it's a sunny day, we don't really need any of these things. The whole house stays pretty warm. And the other thing I want to say is heating with wood is a lifestyle. This is, it's a lot of work. So just to give you an idea of how much wood we have burned, and we haven't kept these stoves running 24/7 ever since October. There's been days when we haven't used them. There's been days when we've run them, or weeks when we've run them 24/7, at weeks at a time. But even not running them all the time, I have already gone through approximately 3 face cords a month, sometimes even 4 face cords a month. So we can burn through a ton of wood doing this. So that means that there's spring and summer and fall time tree cutting and hauling wood and splitting wood and cutting things into logs and processing all that and stacking it in the garage. And then once we go through that, in the winter time, there's moving more wood into the garage or up near the house. And so there's a whole process of things. It's good for you, it's good work, and we love doing it. It's part of the lifestyle that we live here. But it's a lot of work, that's for sure. And so you want to make that decision. If you're looking to try to switch over to heat more with wood, you need to understand that it is a lot of work and that you do need to dedicate some time, at least maybe a day every 2 weeks throughout the year to handle that and process wood. That should give you enough to keep up. So even though we can't heat this house 100% from our wood stoves, the combination of the wood stoves and the sunlight with all these south-facing windows gets us pretty close. And as long as we're home, obviously when we go away for a weekend or if we're, busy or things like that, we can't run the wood stoves when we're not here. So we have to use the furnace more. But as long as we're home and we're able to keep these things fed and have enough wood on supply, we can reduce our propane consumption probably by about 50 or even more percent, 50 to 60%, I would say, throughout the year if we really keep these things going. If we were to heat with propane here all winter long, we would burn an enormous amount of propane. So every time I put wood in this, I know that there's little dollar signs going off in my head. I'm saving money and, of course, using a more natural heat and all those kinds of things. So we love heating with wood. It is a lot of work, but it is well worth the return. Even if you had to buy all of your wood, if you could heat your house with wood versus propane, even if you had to buy truckloads of it, it's still cheaper. It just requires more time and energy. So I have done lots of videos on wood burning with outdoor wood burners, heating greenhouses with wood, heating our home, our old home, which was smaller and more centralized around the wood stove, heating that with a wood stove. So check back at some of the playlists that I have on processing wood, wood cutting, and heating with wood if you're interested in more on that. Love to have you tag along, of course, if this is your first time here. Subscribe. Don't forget to hit thumbs up on today's video. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a good one.